While we're still just about less than a month and a half away from No Time to Die, let's talk about the most recent installment of the James Bond franchise, Spectre. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews presents the summer of 007. So greetings my fellow YouTubers and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name's Doyle, better known to you as the Big D, so I'm going to be bringing to y'all my final review of the summer of 007. If you've not seen my reviews for the other films and the rankings, click on the playlist card coming up. That'll take you to the playlist, so that way you can catch what you might have missed or see them again if you'd like. But it's going to take a long time before you reach this one, you know. Anyway, so now let's begin Spectre, the most recent Bond film, and well, it's been almost 6 years since we got this. Released by Columbia for MGM and Eon Productions. Of course, this would be the last Bond film to be produced by that Columbia would release for MGM. Now, of course, Universal's been more recently distributing some of MGM's material. Anyway, the fourth film to feature Daniel Craig as Bond, and this is the second film in the series to be directed by Sam Mendes, who directed the last film, Skyfall, based on a script written by John Logan, Neil Purvis, Robert Wade, and Jez Butterworth. Well, this time, Bond is pitted against the global criminal organization known as Spectre and their enigmatic leader, Ernst Stavro Blofeld. Yes, we're seeing this character in this. Of course, this marks Spectre and Blofeld's first appearance in Eon Productions film, well, since Diamonds Are Forever in 1971. Now, of course, a character resembling Blofeld was previously seen in For Your Eyes Only in 81, but because of the Thunderball controversy, he is not named nor is his face shown. But anyway, several characters we all know besides the main protagonists return, including Eve Moneypenny, Q, and the new M. Now, the recent M, Dame Judi Dench, does make a slight little appearance, so I don't factually would consider. So, if factually just counts as a small appearance. But anyway, this film is really something. So let's get into the story. A posthumous message from the previous M leads MI6 agent James Bond to carry out an unauthorized mission in Mexico City on the Day of the Dead, where he stops a terrorist bombing plot. Bond kills Marco Sierra, the terrorist leader, and takes his ring, which is emblazoned with a stylized octopus, before stealing a helicopter to escape. Upon his return to London, Bond is suspended from field duty by Gareth Mallory, the current M, who is engaged in a power struggle with Max Denby, whom Bond dubs C, the Director General of the new privately backed joint intelligence service formed by the merger of MI5 and MI6. C campaigns for Britain to join the global surveillance and intelligence initiative Nine Eyes, and uses his influence to close down the 00 field agent section, which he believes is outdated. Bond disobeys M's orders and travels to Rome to attend Ciara's funeral. He saves and seduces Ciara's widow, Lucia, who tells him Ciara, I think that's how you would pronounce it, so I apologize, belonged to an organization of businessmen with criminal and terrorist connections. Bond uses Ciara's ring to infiltrate a meeting to select Ciara's replacement, where he identifies the leader, Franz Oberhauser, After hearing him give the order for the Pale King to be assassinated, Bond is pursued across the sea in his Aston Martin DB-10 by the organization's assassin, Mr. Hinks, driving a Jaguar CX-75. Eve Maypay informs Bond that the Pale King is Mr. White, a former member of the organization's subsidiary Quantum who had fallen afoul of Oberhauser. Bond asks her to investigate Oberhauser, who was presumed dead 20 years earlier. Bond locates White to Altois, Austria. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, where he is dying of thallium poisoning. He tells Bond to find and protect his daughter, psychiatrist Dr. Madeline Swan, who will take him to, I apologize for mispronouncing this, L'Americaine in order to locate Oberhauser. White then commits suicide, and Bond confronts Swan and rescues her from Hinks and his forces. The pair meet Q, who links Oberhauser to Bond's previous missions, identifying Le Chiffre, Dominic Green, and Raul Silva as agents of the same organization which Swan identifies as Spectre. Swan takes Bond to L'Americaine, a hotel in Tangier, and they discover that White left evidence directing them to Oberhauser's base and a crater in the Sahara. Taking a train to a remote station, Bond and Swan encounter Hinks, who gets ejected from the train in the ensuing fight, and later they are escorted to Oberhauser's base. Oberhauser reveals that Spectre has funded the Joint Intelligence Service while staging terrorist attacks around the world, creating a need for the Nine Eyes program. In return, C will give Spectre unlimited access to intelligence gathered by Nine Eyes, allowing them to anticipate and counteract investigations into their operations. Bond is tortured as Oberhauser discusses their shared victory. After Bond was orphaned, Oberhauser's father, Haynes, became his temporary guardian. Jealous of his father's affection for Bond, Oberhauser killed his father, states his own death, and adopted the name Ernst Stavro Blofeld, and went on to form Spectre and target Bond. He reveals that he is ultimately responsible for several tragedies in Bond's life, such as the deaths of the previous M and Vesper Lind. Bond and Swan stun Blofeld by setting off an explosive wristwatch in his face, and the two escape to London to prevent Nine Eyes from going online. Now for the ending, you know the procedure, 5 seconds to stop, go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, continue on after the 5 seconds is over with. Thank you, here we go. Okay, you've been warned. In London, Bond and Swan meet M, Q, Bill Tanner, and Moneypenny with the intention of arresting C. Swan and Bond are separately abducted by Spectre operatives, while the rest of the group proceed with the plan. After Q succeeds in preventing Nine Eyes from going online, a struggle between M and C ends with C falling to his death. Bond is taken to the ruins of the old MI6 building, scheduled for demolition after Silva's bombing. Blofeld, still alive, but now scarred over his right eye, tells Bond that he must escape before explosives are detonated in 3 minutes' time, or die trying to save Swan. Bond finds Swan and they escape by boat as the building collapses. Bond shoots down Blofeld's helicopter, which crashes onto Westminster Bridge. Blofeld survives and manages to crawl away from the wreckage, only for Bond to confront him at gunpoint. Blofeld dares Bond to kill him, but Bond refuses and instead leaves him to be arrested by M. He reunites with Swan, and the two leave the bridge. And the next morning, Bond collects the repaired Aston Martin DB5 from Q and drives away with Swan. End of story. So what did I think of Spectre? Though I've only seen it one time and it was in the theater, I need to revisit this one day. But I will say that this film was just as good of a blast as Skyfall was. Although it Didn't quite match up to how much money it made, but nevertheless, it still did pretty well. However, it kind of did get a mixed response in my view, but even so, I still thought it was pretty good in some ways. Now, anyway, besides Daniel Craig, we have Christoph Waltz as Blofeld, aka Oberhauser, Leah Seydoux as Madeline Swan, and Dave Bautista, who the previous year had appeared in Marvel's monster sleeper hit Guardians of the Galaxy as Mr. Hinks, and Andrew Scott plays C. Plus, we also have Jesper Christensen as Mr. White again. And also back, and as I mentioned, we have M, of course, once again played by Ralph Fiennes, Gareth Mallory. Again, Dame Judi Dench did make a little bit of an appearance. Also, we have Rory Kinnear back as Bill Tanner, the chief of staff of the MI6. Naomie Harris as Eve Moneypenny, and Ben Wishaw as Q. Who, again, I definitely liked all their performances. They were really good. Thomas Newman once again does the score for this, which that was really good too. And its theme song, "The Writings on the Wall," which was co-written and performed by Sam Smith, went on to win the Academy Award and Golden Globe for Best Original Song. Yeah. The film may not have quite matched up to Skyfall, but nevertheless, it did pretty darn well. It went on to make $880 million worldwide, which made it the sixth highest grossing film of 2015 and the second largest unadjusted total for the Bond series after Skyfall. Anyway, and I do know some of the action was pretty good. It was really cool to have Blofeld in one of these new Bond flicks, so that's pretty cool. Don't know if we'll see more of him again, but there is always a possibility. Nevertheless, with good performances by a really good cast, a pretty good story, a great score, and a pretty darn good theme song, and great direction by Sam Mendes, which I gotta give him credit for that too. So the question is, would I recommend Spectre? I would say, hell yeah, this is another James Bond flick you might enjoy. I mean, while it may not have come close to being out Skyfall, but nevertheless, it proved to be a big success. So, anyway, I really do enjoy this, and that's going to do it for the summer of 007. Now, let's keep our fingers crossed, and we'll hope for the best that we will get No Time to Die on October 8th. I hope. So anyway, let me know what you thought about Spectre in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And join me next time when I bring to you my ranking of the American Pie series. Thank you for watching, and if you like this, check out some of these other videos that I've done. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the original Guardians of the Galaxy, which Dave Bautista appeared in, or go to the upper right-hand corner and see my review for a sequel that Ben Wishaw had done just a couple of years after he returned as Q in Spectre, and that being in Paddington 2. And the bottom left-hand corner is my review of the horror classic that recently turned 40 not so long ago, An American Werewolf in London. Well, it's more of a horror comedy. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.